Main investigative authority says it's looking into pilot error coupled with poor weather or a technical failure as the most likely reasons for the plane crash that killed 62 people in southern Russia. The Investigative Committee of Russia has made no mention of terrorism as a possible cause. Rostov's emergency ministry says the plane data recorders have not yet been recovered.
Russian investigators say search operations are underway for the flight recorders of the passenger jet that crashed in the Russian city of Rostov-on-Don, killing all 55 passengers and 7 crew on board. An investigation has been opened into the cause of the crash. A strong wind warning was in place and it was raining hard at the time of the crash. The plane had been circling the area, trying to land for almost 2 hours because of poor weather conditions. The plane, which came from Dubai, was making its second attempt to land when it missed the runway, erupting into a huge fireball as it crashed. CCTV footage showed a huge fireball engulfing a wide area after the plane went down. Authorities took more than an hour to get the blaze under control. Russia's investigative committee says more than 700 rescuers and 100 vehicles combed the area of the wreckage.
And now for the very latest on the crash. We are now joined on the line by our correspondent, Daria Bondarchuk in Russia. Daria, thank you so much for joining us. We know that investigators are still searching for the black boxes. How is that search going? Have they been found yet?
Well, there have been earlier reports, unconfirmed reports from sources within the Emergencies Ministry saying that both black boxes have been in fact recovered from the crash site. That is being verified, but we do know that the Investigative Committee is considering 3 main versions. That is a human error, technical failure and bad weather conditions. Some experts here have been saying that it could have been a combination of the 3. The airline has said that its jet is new and it has undergone necessary checkups in January this year, and that it ruled out any possibility of a terror attack and technical failure. So that leaves the versions of severe conditions on the ground, which some experts and commentators here have indicated could have been the cause of the incident.
And Daria, what assistance is being given at this stage to the family members of the deceased?
Well, many families have started to arrive at the Rostov-on-Don airport. As we know, a lot of the passengers were residents of the Rostov-on-Don region predominantly, and local authorities have offered help to them, and they've promised to provide them with some 1 million rubles, that is roughly $14,000 of assistance for each family who have lost their loved ones in the plane crash. Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed condolences to the families and asked and has instructed an emergencies minister and transport minister and local authorities to provide all necessary help for the families. We know that psychologists have been flown in from Moscow to Rostov-on-Don to help the families deal with shock and the grief of loss. We also know that local authorities have said that bodies are being recovered from the crash site for identification, and that local city morgue unfortunately may be small and too small to host all the bodies, so a local military hospital morgue may be used to host those bodies for identification. And the day of mourning has been announced for Sunday in Rostov-on-Don region following the crash on Saturday morning.
We also understand, Daria, that there were some other flights that had earlier been diverted away from the airport. But at this stage, is the airport still closed, or has it been reopened to air traffic?
Well, according to recent reports, the airport is closed and will remain closed until the end of the day, until midnight. Earlier, some reports suggested it may reopen next morning, on Sunday morning, around 7 a.m. But indeed, most of the flights from Rostov-on-Don airport have been either cancelled or moved to other neighboring airports, and flights to Rostov have been diverted to neighboring airports in the southern region of Russia. And we do know also that some airlines have cancelled flights for tomorrow as well. So the airlines are being precautious, but again, the Fly Dubai owners, the company, has said that the plane was in good technical condition and have ruled out a possibility of a terror attack. And the governor of Rostov-on-Don region earlier today said that the runway was in good condition, that it has been repaired recently, and that it couldn't be that have caused the plane crash. Earlier reports suggested that the plane may have hit the runway with a tail as it attempted to take a second round and attempt another landing during severe weather conditions.
All right, thank you so much, Daria Bondarchuk, our correspondent there, speaking to us live from the Russian capital, Moscow.